Hi guys, this is Sarah and this is my little channel, Read, Write, Plan, where we talk about all things reading, writing, and planning. So today what I want to show you is my main planner for 2025. I did talk a little bit about it in my 2025 lineup video, but I kind of want to give you a more in-depth look at it. And this planner is kind of the reason why I chose to start a YouTube channel, because when I was originally planning on getting back into personal planning this year, I thought I was going to do a bullet journal. Well, Facebook had other ideas. Like Facebook likes to do, it kept recommending this planner so often that I thought perhaps the universe was speaking to me, and I decided to give it a try. But when I went to look on YouTube for flip-throughs of this planner, there were so few, and the ones that they did have were from years ago, which kind of blew my mind, because if you type in any planner on YouTube, you're going to get 847 flip-throughs, right? But there really weren't any good ones on this planner, so I just went for it because I really liked some of the things in it. I also want to look at the other stuff that I got, the accessories that I got from the Dragontree. So let's take a look at some of these first, and then we'll dig into that planner. So the first thing I got is intention paper. And this is paper that's infused with bay leaves. So you're supposed to write your intentions and then, I guess, set them on fire and send them out to the universe. But it's just so pretty that I had to have it. The second thing I got was a sticker set. And I do think this sticker set was a little bit pricey, but I really wanted it. It was like $20, but I really wanted it, so we just went with it. So let's take a look at these stickers. These are your new moon stickers, new moon intentions, things you like for the new moon, just some really pretty stickers. And then you have one for the waxing phases of the moon. Oop. There's your full moon stickers. Waning phases stickers, and this just random sticker page, which is so pretty. So those are the moon phase stickers from the Dragontree company. The next thing I got was this Rituals for Transformation book, and this is a journal that you're supposed to use for 108 days. I do want to do kind of a more in-depth flip through of this one and show you how I'm going to use it with my journals. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited. The 2025 Dream Book and Planner from the Dragontree company. So the cover is this really pretty, really good feeling, kind of like a faux leather almost, with a nice hard backer board. It is on a wire-o, which I feel like is nobody's favorite. Nobody's ever chosen a planner because it had a wire-o, but whatever. It still works, and it works pretty nicely. It's not terrible. You'll see how it works as I flip through it. Now, I want to point out that mine does have some indentations over here from where I guess it was stacked with other books. But don't take that as anything against the company, because they did offer to send me a brand new one. Ultimately, I declined that offer because I really just want to get into this book and get started. I didn't want to wait a week for another book to show up. So we're just going to deal with it. What they are going to send me is one of their premium covers. I guess like a cover for the book that you can put on. We'll see what that looks like when it comes. Okay, so let's get into the meat of this book. Page 1 is just really pretty with this nice little moon and sun. Dream book and planner. There's a table of contents, which is pretty cool. Kind of some information from the company on how this book works. And then questions to connect you to your true desires and purpose. I'm really excited to kind of dig into these questions. Discovering your core values, your life purpose. Evaluating your self-trust, which I think is going to be really interesting to kind of take a look at. kind of your dreams, what you want your future to look like. The first one is livelihood, career, and influence. Then we get relationships and family, community connection, physical wellness, creation, exploration, and play, psychological and spiritual health. I like that they separate that from physical wellness. And so those, I guess, are their categories that you want to look at before kind of determining your goals for the year. Now it has mind maps to kind of, it says, now a message to you from your higher self. So kind of looking at what you want to do with all of that information that was given to you in the questions that you answered. So there's a mind map for 1 year, 3 years, 10 years, and lifetime. And then it has you break it down where you kind of look at the couple of things that you feel are most important for you to you from each of those maps and set your goals for 1 year, 3 years, 10 years, and lifetime. Honestly, I'm not really sure what this is going to look like once I start digging into it. So once I'm done, we'll kind of take a look at this and see how it went. All right, now, ritualizing. Now, this is not, at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about that word ritual, but as you kind of read it, it's more really just routines and how to set yourself up with your space and your surroundings to have the best experience when you sit down to do your goals and your work. So then your yearly goals, what you want to accomplish, when you want to accomplish it, and your theme for the year. So this would be either like your word of the year or a phrase for the year, something to kind of guide you for your year. This is just some information on how to use the planner. There's your 2025 year at a glance. I just think for whatever reason, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't even want to put washi on it because it's just so simple and pretty. I mean, I'll probably, mess it up a little bit because that's what we do. But I just think it's such a pretty clean slate. And I'm excited to see how pens work in it. So at the end of this, we'll do a pen test. There's your Q1 breakdown, projects you want to do in Q1 and kind of when you want to do it. And then for each month, they give you a space to write about your projects and things that you want to do for January, February, and March. And then it gets into the planner itself, and it gives you some suggestions or kind of like an idea on how to use it, an example of what they've done. And I think that this is what makes this planner so special is the weeklies. Each and every week has 2 spreads. This is the first one. And then the second one is more of a traditional planner spread. There's your January monthly. Silly things like Belly Laugh Day, Australia Day. But then also your traditional ones like New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day. It also lists that Aquarius starts on the 19th. And it shows your moon phases. So here's the first of 2 weekly spreads. It's the same every week except for this second part here, this challenge. So it gives you 4 lines for habits that you want to track that week. I think that's really great to kind of focus on 4 things at a time. And then the challenge for the week, like I said, there's a different challenge every single week. And then the questions here, and I'm not really sure if they're the same every week. We'll have to take a look. Yeah, it does look like they're the same. Wins from last year. How will I reframe something I find difficult? How will I create more freedom this week? Your intention for the week, your top priorities, and then just some examples of things that you can do to thrive. And I guess you probably just check them off if you do them that week. And then this is the really exciting part. This is like just a space. Look at this huge space for whatever you want. For checklists, for trackers, for ideas, for doodles. It's all dot grid. and it's this huge space to work. And then you get into your weeklies. It's kind of a traditional vertical format. You do have these little dots to put in the times if you want. That's not something I'm going to do, so they're light enough that I can ignore them. Down here you have the grateful for, and then those 4 symbols that match up with these 4 symbols over here to track your habits. On the left, tasks, you're supposed to go look at your monthly projects, and it gives you the page where those are. Looking at your monthly calendar, things that were incomplete from last week, life duties, because you know we've got tons of those every week, and then rituals and good habits. And then it's just the same, except for this challenge changes every single week, which I think is so cool. And then we get through January. There's your February monthly overview. And then when we get to the end of March, we have our quarter 2. So at the end of the quarter, kind of reflecting on what you did, how you feel, projects for quarter 2. And you've got something very similar to this for quarter 3 and for quarter 4. And then we get to the end, and there's some interesting things at the back. And of course we can't just flip because of this wire binding, but it works. Okay, so we get to the end, we've got reflection on our year, a someday maybe list, which I kind of wish was at the beginning, but that's okay, I can use it back here. Items to add to next year's plan, a 2026 year at a glance, and a little space for working in 2026, and then lots of dot grid pages. And these are just so cute with a little sun and the moon at the top. I thought maybe I would use these the way that I would normally use collections in a bullet journal. I even thought about ripping this whole thing apart and putting them up front. We'll see what I end up doing when I set this thing up. And then just a cute little thing from the owners at the back. Okay, so what I think is most important is the pen test. So let's just take some pens and see what we got. Okay, so I just grabbed some of my most used pens, and we're going to do a little bit of a pen test here, and I'll talk about each of the pens as we go. The first one is my most used pen. This is from Amazon. It is the pen that I use every single day. It's an 0.5, a 0.5. I don't even know what the company is. There we go. Next we have the Papermate Flare Ultrafine. I have 2 different versions of Erin Condren dual tipped highlighters. I have mild liners. Here we have the Tombow slightly shorter brush pen. I always forget what this is called. Foodnesco or something like that. Now I have 3 different microns, the 003, the 03, and the 08. I have 2 different Stettler fine liners, one in a little bit darker color, one in a little bit lighter. And now I have 2 Tombos, again, one a little bit lighter, one a little bit darker, the N55 and the 249. Okay, are we ready for the big reveal? Oh, wow. There is next to nothing here. Even with those darker Tombos, I am so surprised. A little bit of ridging, almost zero even ghosting, a little bit with that Stettler. This is probably the one that ghosted the most, but you can hardly even see it. So I'm actually really, really impressed with this paper. All right, well, that is the Dragontree 2025 Dream Book and Planner. And again, I'll be doing some flip throughs of the Dream Book Journal or the Dragontree Journal. And then once I get this set up, I'll kind of show you guys how that looks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my videos on the Dragontree Rituals for Transformation Journal and some other things I got coming. Thanks, guys. Bye.